Hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, friends. This is Yonks, and we are now streaming live for our fifth working group and joined here with friends Blursday, Amy, Tyler, also known as Mrs. Yonks. We have a lot of agenda. We always have a lot of agenda. That's why we were talking before we went live about doing better with our carryover so that things aren't falling through the cracks. And the other thing that we were talking about was workflow and event integration, but we have an agenda prepared, and this is something that I'm going to work on. And I give everybody here on the live stream, whether you're participating on our Zoom or if you're participating in our YouTube, make sure that you participate on the YouTube because we do reward REtoken. We provide 10 REtokens for anybody that chimes in some comments. I'm actually going to do that right now myself. Let me make this not full screen here for you and bring this over. And I'm going to say hello from the live stream. So we actually have a Discord bot, and let me go ahead and get streamer mode enabled on Discord. We are very intentional about establishing best practices within our culture. That's something that I'm going to talk about every opportunity that I think of it. And streamer mode on Discord, this is something here in the user settings. Enable this, and I don't know exactly what that does, but it takes off some of the things. But anyway, Discord is a chat, and it's a platform that we use here within our community. And this is actually we're going to be talking more about Discord because our Discord is going to look very different in a month or two from now. And again, that's going to be an ongoing conversation as we're integrating REtoken, the real estate DAO, into the Triple Win Foundation, 3-Win DAO. And that's very succinctly reflected in the video thumbnail here. And this is working group number 5. So I see the chat and Amy chiming in. Hello. Thank you for the participation there. And we have a live stream channel here too. This is the live stream channel. Love the Discord restream bot because it blasts it out to all of the ecosystem because we're actually live streaming here currently on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and several different Twitter accounts. And that's one of the things that we will continually, and that's one of the things that we'll be talking about on our working group here later today is our social media strategy. So hello from Discord. And let's see what that looks like over here. And it'll take a minute to pop in, but you can see Restream bot, Discord Yonks, hello from Discord. Anyway, let's get on with the agenda. Let me actually share this here on our live stream. And this is agenda for today. And this is one of the things too. I'm going to do a hashtag key moment. Key moments are going to be an important content strategy here right now as it exists in 2022. REtoken is a content/media DAO. And that's one of the things until we get our security token process defined for the tokenization of real estate, we will primarily generate our revenue from generating content. Anyway, that's going to be an ongoing conversation as well here in 2022. But anyway, let's go ahead and get on to our agenda. So this is, again, Notion. Notion is the primary tool that we have been using. This is one of the benefits of our integration within the Triple Win, the 3-Win DAO ecosystem. And we put Notion in place when we were building DAO Day, a virtual event, and we'll be talking more about that. Not today, though. We don't have any time allocated. So one of the things that we want to do to start off every opportunity that we're coming live to you is it's an open invitation. We build in public here, and we are very intentional about building a solid foundation that will sustainably scale on a global basis. And we're going to need a lot of people that knows what's going on. And that's one of the reasons that we're building Blockchain Bootcamp for real estate. And I just wanted to really quickly say Good afternoon and happy Sunday to Rosetta. Thank you for sharing your time here with us all today, Rosetta and everybody else that's on the live stream. So again, open invitation for everybody to contribute here. And this is one of the things that we're working on improving, providing more opportunities within bounties. And we like creating economic incentives for people to participate. So review upcoming events on the 3Win Foundation Google Calendar. Let me actually grab, well, let me just do this, copy link address. And this is our Google Calendar. I'm going to provide this on the live stream here. Key moment. And this is something, if timestamp keeper, if somebody wants to do this, this is something that we want to get better at. And then more importantly, we want to put these key moments in our YouTube content. And again, we're going to talk more about that later. This is our Google Calendar. This is the primary thing whenever we're putting any events out there. And I'm going to switch over real quick to the 3Win DAO profile, the 3Win.eth hot wallet, and this is the Discord calendar. And this is one of the things that Blur's Day had a great idea as far as, and this is one of the things that within Blur's Day, when we're looking at doing our workflow integration and automation tooling, because one of the things that I would really like to, the vision that I have is I would like for us to have a simple landing page where whomever is creating an event can just, and then it'll just push it out automatically into everywhere. But this is the last day. I'm a huge fan of week numbers. This is week 14. And I think on the agenda here today, I actually included that for the title. I did right here. So this is something that everybody that's participated in our events can attest that I am a fan of the week numbers. So Monday kicks off week 15, and right now on our Google Calendar, and this is something that I'm pretty sure that our Let Us Meet, and I don't know if I had the Let Us Meet link on there, but I'm pretty sure that that was, and I think it was actually, anyway, let's take a look at that Let Us Meet. Let's see, it was ret.team/go/let us meet, and this is one of the things that I've been having fun with, using the pretty links to do some redirects. And this is going to be one final opportunity. We're providing a +10 REtoken, and we'll let this run until, like, what do you say, Tyler? How late should we let this run today to give people one last opportunity to?
Till the, you have until what time? 30 minutes before the meeting ends. Because we're going to throw it on this airdrop. That's it. So if you want to,
well, put from an accounting standpoint, put the +10 REtoken on this event specifically, just because I don't want to provide the +10 REtoken to people that don't actually participate in the event. So this is like +10 REtoken with a little asterisk that says event participation required. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so then I guess just then they have until tomorrow because that's when it is, right?
Well, no, we need to get this event scheduled. So this is one of the things I want, like, here this afternoon after this working group is over. And this is kind of like why we're using this section of the working group right now, is so that people can kind of plan their week. And I don't think that we've got anything else on here. One of the things, with this being an Easter Sunday, I want to be respectful of this, and I'm actually going to delete this working group. So this is me making it an executive decision because I don't want to be doing any work on Easter Sunday. So let's say until, you know, like what, 6 o'clock Eastern time, and let me throw that link in the live stream. You have until 6 p.m. East to provide availability on Let Us Meet for Monday's working group, which is tentatively scheduled for 7 p.m. EDT. This will be a 2-hour working group for REtoken. And here's that link. Okay, cool. So moving on down the agenda, that was the calendar. I don't think there's not anything else we're going to get. So one of the things that's we've been putting some webinars on here, and one of the things that has to be done before I want to do a webinar is want to do a live stream using Descript, or and it won't technically, well, I guess it'll technically be live, but this is something that I'll make a decision with. And where I'm going with that is we have put in place with our, and let me actually just show, because this is very cool. Love the Unlock Protocol dashboard. Might have to log into the hot wallet. Nope, actually logged in already. So this is Unlock Protocol. We've used Unlock Protocol. This is now our third project that we are doing utilizing Unlock Protocol. And this is the dashboard. We have Stripe in place for our dashboard, and of course here on the live stream it would be delaying on loading. Let me see if it's this. Okay, so here it is, and right now we currently have this set for 97 US dollar coins, so 97 bucks. And one of the things that we put in place is Stripe integration, and as you can see here, the Stripe integration. And for those that aren't familiar, Stripe.com it's one of the top payment processing for websites, and that's one of the reasons. And it was a fabulously easy process for integrating Stripe utilizing Unlock Protocol here. But that being said, we're going to go through the process, and I'm going to create a video on how to buy our Blockchain Bootcamp for Real Estate 101 ticket utilizing a credit card. And this is one of the things that we spoke a little bit about. We'll talk about that on our upcoming working group that's looking like tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time. But between now and then, I'm going to do a video on how to go through that process. Does that make sense? Any questions on that from anybody? All right, so moving down, review any previous carryover items. This is something that spoke a little bit about previously, and this is something new that we're putting into place here. So we'll get better at this, and this is something we'll continue to talk about and get better as far as just working on delivering more within this 2-hour working group that we have every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So DWork task, DWork, and let me actually click on this in the other tab here. Well, I don't see, that's one of the weird things that Notion does. Anyway, so DWork, here is the, and I'm going to put a key moment, and this is one of the things going to add to our agenda is a timestamp keeper for our live stream events. Speaking about DWork, because the thing where we can use this is now that we're talking about DWork, every time that we spoke about DWork in a particular live stream using a key moment, it basically creates like a little link. Anyway, we'll be talking more about key moments here in 2022. So here's the DWork page on Notion. And here's the task for today's working group. And there's various things that go on behind the scenes in order for us to deliver. And this is one of the things that I want us to get better at, making better use of the content. And right now, and this is something that thank you for noticing that too, Blurs. Like right now, this blog post link right here that I created, I didn't have time before we went live here today to get this fully set up. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a bounty or a task. Well, that's actually one of the things that exists already within this. And let me actually bring this out here real quick. And I'll just copy the link over here in my other window and throw that in the live stream for everybody too. And I'll bring a tab. The embed is a little harder to see on the live stream. So let's see. Copy link to original. And let me actually do this in my profile or in this tab over here. So DWork, and for those that don't know, DWork, and I included this little info box or this call out, DWork is our task management tool, AKA DAO bounty board. So a bounty is a way that we provide an economic incentive with our social token, REtoken. So going back to this tab over here, let me make this a little bit bigger for the live stream. So this is and I just literally created this literally like 20 minutes. So this one wasn't as up to date. I'm going to work on getting this up to date so that we can duplicate this task. And one of the things on this, going to provide Mrs. Yonks the entire reward because she provides as far as the Notion agenda preparation. And right now we've got four subtasks. The one that was talking briefly about there was the blog post creation. This is something that we utilized for the first time. And this is one of the things, this is the link, and I'll throw this in here. It might be, actually, let me use this one. Here is our Pretty Link. And Pretty Link is a WordPress plugin that we're using for creating these pretty links for DWork. And it's so this is making better use of our domain, ret.team. Love that domain, by the way. So I'm really glad that we decided to put that in place. And here's the permalink for DWork. So this is something that you can bookmark, and why that it's better to bookmark that, because this link right over here, working with the DWork team to get this changed where it's more of a pretty link here for 3Win DAO. So it's more of a branded URL, not that big of a deal with us using the pretty link. But anyway, getting back on track here, the one where we really utilized this was, and this is Affiliate Marketing DAO, AFM DAO. That's who's creating, that's the DAO that we launched here within the last couple of weeks to basically create and provide a solid framework for doing all of the content, all of the marketing, all of the affiliate marketing stuff. So this is one of the things that I would really like us to think about, like, what would it cost for creating a blog post? And this is something I'm going to actually create a feature request with the DWork team, because one of the things that we agreed upon, and I'm still not sure if we're going to want to do this, but we were talking about, and here's a couple of the subtasks over here on the right side of the screen: prepare the agenda. And here was the one that I currently, let's see, where is this at? I'm not seeing it over here, and I hope I didn't delete the wrong task. Anyway, this is the one that I was getting updated a little bit for last week. And this is, again, basically the same thing that what we spoke about there. But moving on the DWork, does anybody have any questions as far as the DWork? It's an ongoing work in progress, figuring it out. I'm going to stop talking now, let some other people talk.
No, we're getting the hang of it. It's I'm actually just been thinking, I don't want to sidetrack much, but I'm just wondering if we could somehow use DWork to manage airdrops, instead of, poor Tyler having to spend a fair amount of time and resources. Like somehow people just, fulfill the task or something. And then
something that we're working on with DWork. So there's two things. One is Amy gets an extra thing for doing the PO app. I do for the secretary, Jason does for the agenda, or I do whoever does the agenda. So and whoever else does extra work, and we don't have the ability to just say assign all these people by thing and just hit go and then drop them all. We have to do all this stuff manually. So we're adding a lot of subtasks, and that's one of the things that we're trying to. That's what Jason just mentioned, was he'd like to get DWork to change their functionality to make it almost like a kind of like a spreadsheet of saying here's who gets what, go, and then all the wallets connect, and that's it, and we can do it in one.
And the biggest thing is that they don't have multi-send functionality within their platform currently. And I think that that's something that we're working on, or the DWork team. And Tyler and I have been in regular conversations with the DWork team. And that's one of the things that we love about DWork is that they're very responsive on things. And here's actually a task like where we've got multiple people contributing to this one that we were mentioning a little bit before we went live, is the evaluate workflow integration and automation tools. And this is one of the things that like the three of us contributing, and we have a decent sized bounty, 250 AFM DAO, and we're applying the same type of tokenomics that we've used at REtoken within AFM DAO, 10 million social tokens. One task point equals about 1 hour equals 25 of the social tokens. So that's just a little bit of the backstory. And this will continue to be an ongoing work in progress. Like one of the things that have done, as I mentioned on the blockchain bootcamp, the REtCamp last working group, when have been doing more within DWork, it became painfully evident that we needed to have the REtoken boards in the Triple Win Foundation, especially like here where we're talking about, and I don't know if we're going to do this for our 7th working group on Monday. Probably will, just because like right here, we only have less than 2 weeks. 2 weeks from yesterday, Saturday, is when we're dropping Blockchain Bootcamp for Real Estate, launching it, the very first one. So the next 2 weeks, we're concluding season 1, because the way that we're structuring Blockchain Bootcamp on a monthly basis, basically every month is going to be a season. So when that week ends, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, that will basically launch season 2 of REtCamp. And we'll be talking more about that on our working group tomorrow night, but where I was going with that. So this is the Triple Win DAO organization. We still have some stuff over here, and I'm trying to work with the team to move these boards for REtoken and REtCamp. And this is one of the things that I'm kind of thinking that from a task management standpoint, and again, like trying to keep it more simple, like, and we spoke a little bit about Coordinate, and we've got that on the list here, but that's one of the things, like right now, we've got this, and I think that I'm going to actually do this right now on the working group, is move our Coordinate integration. So this is the Triple Win DAO board. I provided the link in here to the pretty link. That's the one that you would need to bookmark, because that'll take you to the main organization page. So this will be like the master page for any of our boards. And this is going to continue to expand here substantially, because we're expecting a lot of growth, and we're building for a lot of growth here in 2022. And again, we're providing an open invitation for whomever, and we're going to provide more bounties within DWork for contributing. And this is one of the things that we're going to be very intentional about, creating some tutorials on how that you can participate and contribute and stuff like that. So anyway, to move on down the agenda here. So this is DWork task for this is working group. We've talked about DWork for a while. DAO governance, this is something that we regularly have within our working groups today. And as you can see here, don't have any planned agenda. The framework for Triple Win DAO, the Triple Win Foundation, is an ongoing work in progress. Integrating REtoken, the real estate DAO, into the Triple Win Foundation is an ongoing work in progress. Going to leave it at that and carry on with the agenda here. So this is all of these things. This is the regularly templated agenda for today. And just to make a reference as far as the time, and I'm going to do a key moment here just for my future reference, key moment concluding the weekly reoccurring agenda. So moving on down the agenda. So, and actually going to add this. This is something new, adding this to our template. and this is a to-do. So if somebody wants to take this and move this as a to-do so that we can make sure like a next action in our agenda, that would be fabulous. Social media. Oh, nope. We have fun. Community member of the week. Wanted to nominate. This is something that Tyler and I were talking about. Sumit, I'm going to let you make the second the nomination there, Tyler. Over to you. I'm going to stop talking.
Yeah, Sumit's great. He jumped right in. He's already posting about us on LinkedIn and Twitter and encouraging people to get involved, and just exactly what we want everybody to join our community to be excited about. So a quick change that we made to drive engagement is we do airdrops, and I don't know that people always know that in advance. So I just started posting that in our meetings, saying, join us live and get an airdrop. If you can't join us live, you can watch it on YouTube. Just don't get an airdrop for that. So we really want people to get engaged, promote what we're doing, invite their friends. And I think he's just doing exactly what we want everybody to do. So that's why I wanted to do that. On a side note, we do want to get back to member of the week. We got off track a little bit with Token Summit, but I think it's really important to recognize everybody also. And so if you guys can start thinking about that in general, and especially when we can recognize new people, that is always really nice.
Had to find the unmute button there. Thank you for that, Tyler. And again, we love, and we're actually going to say this is the new community member of the week, and this is the opportunity that we have to, because sometimes we've nominated a new community member of the week along with an existing community member, both. So that's always something that we will do. And again, we love having fun here, and thank you, Sumit, for hopping in. And if I can find the tweet, or somebody else can find that and share that in the live stream, but I'm going to keep on with the agenda because we've got only an hour and 15 minutes and moving down. So social media post help. And this is, thank you, Tyler, Mrs. Yonks, for all that you did to compile the agenda here for this week. And I'm gonna let you talk a little bit about the social media post help that you think that we need.
So a couple things. One is, if either of you or both of you would be interested in posting actually as REtoken. So I've been inviting people to.
Oh, we lost her.
Straightforward, just, look at what's going on in the industry around real estate, NFTs, different things that are happening with blockchain and that are sort of relevant. If you want to write a short commentary around it, I think that's helpful. If you don't, just posting the article of check this out drives engagement to the page. It makes us sort higher. And when we are promoting internal things, that's really helpful. Facebook, I know all three of us are active on Facebook. We have not done much on Facebook other than the simulcasts. I would like to get more engaged with that. I didn't put Mighty Networks on here because we have not had a good track record using that. Just kind of dropped that. Reddit, I put as a question mark. I don't know if we're on too many platforms or if we're going to just lean hard into gm.xyz, but really what I'm asking for is, would you guys be willing to either take a week and post something every day, or post something like every 1 day a week, like every Monday it's your turn to post something, or I just need some help, somebody helping me curate content or writing commentary or sharing things. Doesn't take a lot of time. It's just one more thing that I am trying to get done and just getting behind on. So I need some help with it. If any of you guys are, so that's what I'm asking, is if any of you guys are willing to take on one or more of these channels for a week or for 1 day a week to drive engagement.
And one of the things that I wanted to say on that real quick, and let me actually refresh this. And I'm glad that you brought up gm.xyz. We'll go there here momentarily. And I was just putting a key moment in here for gm.xyz because the opportunity, again, let me put that on the shelf and we'll come back to that here momentarily after I refresh this, because this was a info box that added down here on the social media post help, where what we're gonna do to help facilitate this is be very intentional about creating bounties, processes, and framework to make this easier for everyone. Because like that's one of the things that is a very centralized aspect today that we haven't really provided a lot of opportunity. Like here on Twitter for REtoken DAO, like 271 tweets, and I'm pretty sure all of these, because I don't know if anybody else has access to this. I mean, a couple of these were like the some snapshot proposals and stuff like that, but the opportunity for people to contribute, and whether we reward 10 REtoken or 25 REtoken or something. And this is again just wanting to kind of plant that seed for thoughts, because we again are a content marketing DAO right now, and until we get other revenue streams, like right now we're creating Blockchain Bootcamp for Real Estate, which is going to be functionally a digital product / event / NFT / one-year membership, however you want to look at it. We are representing that via an NFT. We'll be again talking about that, and hopefully people will be able to participate on that tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And again, a little bit of opportunity to get to let us meet. But anyway, getting back over here, we'll be creating some bounties on DWork. We already talked about that for facilitating the social media post and doing a lot of the stuff in Notion. And one of the things that I didn't get on here that I would like to talk about, and I'll put this down the list, is roles. Because like social media contributors is definitely a role, because at the end of the day, some people might have zero interest in doing anything with social media. And that's one of the things that we want to provide the framework here for contributing, and like contributing in Notion, like Tyler providing all of this. Like Notion, the way that we have the framework in Notion is that you have to be added by us to be a Notion contributor, and we represent that with a Discord role, and we'll be talking more about that. But anyway, GM.xyz, let me actually, because we spoke a little bit about GM.xyz, what has happened is that they, I guess, the GM.xyz team, and let me actually click on the link here, because this is another pretty link that made ret.team/GM. So this is a community request that we made. And one of the things that has happened is that deprecating community requests. So the process has changed here. So fonz.eth is somebody that we had Mike on a YouTube. And if somebody wanted to find the link for that, that would be fabulous. If not, that's okay. But there's a new process, and let me actually just click on this here real quick. So new process for community requests is at gm.xyz is now being done via a Google form. So that's one of the things, and if somebody could add this to a next action, this is something that I would actually like to create a how-to video using Descript and not take the time during the live stream. So that was all that I wanted to say on the gm.xyz. We're looking forward, the more that I really take a step back, and Tyler and I have built community, like this isn't our first community building exercise. We had a fairly decently sized Discord server for a game that we were playing at the height of the pandemic, and that's actually where we met Design.
Yeah, fun fact. That was actually the best thing we got out of that game was Design.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully Design will be able to participate here sooner than later in our community. He was along with the other crew at Chainrise. That's where he's at right now. And he's now a full-time blockchain developer. So this is something that we can hope provided a experience base for him a little bit to, provide some additional resume padding while he was transitioning from the Web 2 developer is now he's a blockchain developer at Chainrise. So we love DeSign, and that was again tangent to the conversation, but we're looking forward to building more community with gm.xyz Web3 platform. And we've been looking at tools since like 4 months now, and it's just been an ongoing process. And anyway, anybody want to say anything about social platforms, gm.xyz, Discord, or anything like that before we move on down the list on our agenda?
The biggest thing is, this is just my ask. Do either of you guys have time to help? So
I was just gonna ask you guys, how do you track when we do it? I know it's in D-Work. I could say that I'm going to participate, but how do you track? Is it our obligation to post it in Discord?
Yeah, so what we could do it a couple different ways. One is we could just do a bounty of handling LinkedIn for the week, or handling Facebook for the week, or whatever, and then you could just wrap it all into one task, and then we just approve it. As far as knowing how we do it, LinkedIn will say this post was posted by Amy, this post was posted by Tyler, blah blah blah. So we can actually see who did what. It's all trackable on the back end on our side. So if you want to help, we would love to have that. But yeah, I think probably just
because I reposted LinkedIn and reposted I think Twitter, and I don't know if I did Facebook, but I did a repost, but I don't know if you were asking us to submit the task that we have done. But now I understand you want it like be done in a week or something.
Well, yeah,
So
what I'm actually asking, and the reposts and the retweets and the reblogging is all really helpful. What I was actually asking was, would you be willing to actually go into the back end of it and post as us? Because if you're reposting it, that's fine.
The
But
back
we want
end.
to.
Okay.
That's back to why that I created this here, Tyler, is that we really need processes, because that's basically at the end of the day, that's what a business is processes. The reason that McDonald's has 40,000 locations globally isn't because McDonald's makes the best hamburger. They have Hamburger University and a very established process where they can hire teenagers to run a multi-million-dollar business. And that's what we need to create, is the process for how to contribute.
Yeah.
And so what we understand that, Amy, and this is one of the things why we love to build in public is like we understand that that's the
Amy,
need.
are you loud? I'm getting a lot of background.
So are we going to be granted access? Like if
Yeah,
I
and
say I
that's
would take a week or two in Twitter, you're going to grant us access to it?
And that's again one of the things that we have to create a framework to like put a tool in for social media, like Sprout Social or something like that. So like and right now the biggest opportunity that we have.
Wait, Amy, are you someplace loud?
The biggest opportunity that we have is to really refine, like right now, we've got some tweets surrounding our today's working group. That didn't happen, and that's some of what I would say low-hanging fruit, because the great thing about promoting our existing content is that's something that we're not doing consistently that we should be doing, because the opportunity of inviting more people in, and again, so that's one of the things that now that we've got a solid tool, that I'm optimistic and confident.
So once you get it done, you're gonna let us know, right?
And that's the thing. I won't even say done. It's going to be.
Let us know.
Yeah. So everything we're doing is an ongoing work in progress, and I understand the processes for this. So that's one of the things that we'll work on creating to help make it easier for the people to contribute. Because like right now, like what we're asking is saying help, but we're not really providing how to help. And that's I got that noted, and that's something that we'll work on here.
Okay, great. So let's move on from that. I put that down as a note for myself. So as far as the coordinate and DWORK bounties, the thought on this is coordinate and DWORK are functionally rewarding the same work now. So We already have set bounties for certain things. Like Amy, you get an extra bounty every week for doing the POAP, stuff like that. And with Coordinate, it's basically saying kind of who went above and beyond this week, but what we're looking in a more quantifiable way, especially as our community is growing with projects and everything else, is we don't want people to have to write out their epic statements. Most people don't. Most people aren't giving, and then people are doing work and they're not getting rewarded for it. So what we figured we'd do is, if it's okay with you guys, just sort of pause Coordinate on everything, switch over to DWork.
Okay, hold on, Tyler. That's actually contradictory to what I was just saying there before we went live, because like one of the things that we're not doing with Coordinate with RETCamp, which we did create a social token for, and that's one of the things. We're not expecting a huge amount of revenue here for season one, especially with all the framework that we're building out. And that's something that we'll have more conversations on tomorrow night, but we still are running an epic for RETCamp. And that was one of the things that I showed before we went live is I would really encourage everybody, and this is one of the things that I'm actually going to do right now, is integrate the Triple Win Foundation into, and this is, I don't know if I really like how the coordination or the integration is working right now. And let me make sure I'm signed in here real quick. So this is one of the newer integrations that DWork just did, is connecting to Coordinate. And that's one of the things that I do really love about this integration. But the challenge is, and let me see if this actually got open the settings. So let's see. Well, this looks very different over here. So circles. So here's the admin settings. So connect DWork, because this was previously connected to REtoken. So I'm going to delete this, remove the integration, because this is one of the things that became painfully evident, that we needed REtoken to be within the same organization as Triple Win Foundation, with how tightly that the DAOs within this ecosystem are being integrated right now. So connect DWork, and let's see, select an organization. So this is Triple Win Foundation, authorize. And again, the way that we're doing our DAOs and our sub-projects and stuff like that, I would say is probably more complicated than a lot of organizations that are single faceted. And this is something right now, like we've got RETCamp. This is an active circle that exists, and I'm wanting us to continue here for season one, and I think probably for season two, and that'll become more clear. So let's be intentional about talking about this. Like right now, the epic ends, I think it's 4 a.m. Eastern here tonight. So, and this is one of the things in Discord, we do have the RETCamp circle. This is a webhook or something like that. Caesar, the Coordinate bot, is updating here. So all of us right now need to take an action item here today, this afternoon, to go allocate your gives and Coordinate. And this is something that we'll continue to refine. Coordinate may not be the best solution. There may be a better solution. DWork is awesome. But again, there's things that I do and don't like about DWork. There's things that I do and don't like about Coordinate. And I'm not sure how I like the integration, but one of the things that I do like about it, and let me actually go in here, and I don't think when you've got, if you're completing tasks in DWork, and let's see, to save epic settings, and this is what it looks like when you go to the next step. So let me see if I've got any completed tasks. So what happens, so now that we've got, and let me make this a little bit bigger. So now that we've got dwork integrated here, you can see that I don't have to do anything on the epic statement. So this automatically shows up in there. That's one of the things that I love about it, because that was one of the pain points with Coordinate, was taking the time in there to go in and fill out your epic statement. So with the dwork integration, you can see in here the tasks. So the only ones that are actually completed, and this isn't all that I've done this week, but this is, again, just getting better at utilizing the new tool, getting better at the dwork tasks and stuff like that. But does anybody want to chime in on Coordinate before we move on to the next agenda item?
Yeah, I personally, I just find it a little overwhelming to use it.
I don't like it. I think it's too hard to quantify. I want to switch to bounties. Nobody fills out their epic statement. Nobody.
I will take it offline. Why that? So it's, but again, the vision for utilizing Coordinate for blockchain bootcamp for real estate, we can have that conversation. And again, let's take that offline, because I do agree. But it fills a niche, and I wouldn't be saying that there's a need for it if I didn't think that there was truly a need for it. But and if you still don't see that, we'll talk a little bit about this. We'll allocate some time tomorrow too, and it will become, I think, more clear. But I'll try to put some written words behind this as well. But anybody else want to chime in on the Coordinate? I guess that's Amy. All right, we'll keep on down the list, because we are already halfway through our time here today.
Hey, Yonks, if you don't mind, can we go back to the gm.xyz? I'm looking at the form and everything. And first of all, did you already fill out the form?
No, I haven't. It's a super short form.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, one thing we do is just quickly crank that out right now. Or I could, I mean, I have it open on my other desktop too. But yeah, so do we want to do REtoken, or should we do a 3-win, or should we do both? Or
no, I think that we should do both. And that's one of the things, because like one of the, I'm actually planning to do a live stream, because it's not even just both, because like the DAO Hack, which is a brand like that we use for our thumbnail here, and it started playing. So here's the logo, the yin yang. So I'm actually planning on doing a live stream with the one. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and fill it out for REtoken and 3win.eth or whatever, feel free to do that, Blurs. That would be fabulous.
all right, I'll do the REtoken one. All right,
cool.
Yeah, I'll just copy what you posted in the community thing. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. And I've already had some DM conversations with Fawns, and I'll just let him know that we submitted that one, and that's something that's been on the to-do list. So thank you for crossing that one off the list for me there, Blurs. So Descript is a new tool that we just put in place, and let me actually take a look. We were talking about that on our previous working group, and we actually ran through the process. And let me see if I can find that tool and fire that up. So one of the things from an organizational standpoint, let me actually just bounce over here to this Figma diagram. So this is the main page of Triple Win Foundation, 3Win DAO. If you go to 3win.foundation, and I'm gonna actually put a key moment here on our live stream too. Let's see, key moment on, and gonna work on, let's see, key moment. Speaking about 3Win DAO homepage, which is 3win.foundation, which redirects to Notion, and that's what we're looking at here. And what I was talking about was the Figma diagram over here, and this needs to be updated big time. but that was a little bit off track. But let me actually just bring in the Descript here. So community calls. So this is and anybody that would like to be involved in the process. And this is something that I believe that somebody actually reached out on one of our DWork tasks. And let me see if I can find that real quick here in, let's see. I think it was on one of these up here. Anyway, I'll take that offline and try to find it. But somebody actually submitted an offer to help, and that's one of the things that is an opportunity for some workflow enhancements surrounding DWork. And we're going to be talking about workflow a lot here in 2022. We already talked about the bounty as far as workflow integration and automation, and then also just documenting, like from a processes standpoint. But Descript is a tool that we put in place. We actually imported the live stream, and this is something where so it actually transcribed our live stream, and it removed some of the filler words already. And I don't know what but one of the things that's pretty cool about this is I think with the tool that we can have, it's really geared for collaborative creators or people that want to be involved on the process. Because like the goal is to take the written or the transcription and provide that on our website and really get it so that we have some meat and potatoes on our website from an SEO standpoint, if that makes sense. So, and that's one of the things that will probably create some roles within Discord for tools such as this, because there's like a content team. Content team is something, but then within the content team, there will likely be various roles and or projects. And again, all this stuff is a work in progress. While it's getting more complicated in some ways, like one of the ways that we want to make it easier is like defining what those roles are. Like whether you're a Descript admin or a Notion contributor or whatever the case may be. And that's one of the things going to be working on here within this tool, Notion, for figuring out the roles. And does that make sense on that? Is that clear as mud, or I don't know?
Is Descript like Notion?
No, so Descript is, and let me actually go to their website. So Descript, the reason that we're getting it right now, the primary reason is transcription. So like we have done, and let's actually just take a look real quick at our REtoken DAO. And this is the REtoken DAO. And I use Brave, and I've got a lot of profiles within Brave. So this is this is my profile for the REtoken DAO hot wallet that's logged in on, like, this is our YouTube channel. So, and I'm going to put a key moment in here on our live stream real quick, showing the key moment, showing the REtoken DAO YouTube channel. I'll put a link in here too. So this is something that I also created, and I'll probably create one that's a pretty link that's also /YouTube instead of just /YT, just to make it easy for people. And that's, again, one of the reasons this one need to do. So this is need to create this pretty link. Well, let me just do that here real quick instead of talking about it. This is a working group, right? Let me show people how easy this is to create a pretty link here. Because we're going to be talking a lot about RET.team. It's our homepage. I love that homepage, and it needs a lot of work. This is WordPress. It's WordPress multi-site. Not going to go into reasons why we're using WordPress here in 2022, but we feel it's the best tool for the needs and what we're building here right now. But anyway, going into the dashboard, I'm already logged in. One of the things that I love about Unlock Protocol is that they have a fabulous plugin that allows people to basically connect to WordPress using their Web3 wallet. But going into the dashboard, so here at the main dashboard is a pretty link quick add. So let's go back here to Discord. I'm going to add a pretty link here for our YouTube channel, and we're going to just make this /YouTube, create. And now the pretty link is created. So when you now go to this URL, so I don't need to update this after all. So now when you click on this URL, it goes to our YouTube channel. So there was me making a pretty link on our live stream. So that's how easy pretty links is in WordPress. So going back to Descript, what is Descript? So again, going back to our YouTube channel, looking at our videos, and this is the YouTube studio. And let me just go to the dashboard here. So right now we've got 109 subscribers, and we've made a lot of content, and all that content has been live stream content. So what the primary reason that we're doing Descript right now, Amy, is for transcription. And that's just one of 4 things that it's good for. So like the other opportunity too, we've got Blockchain Bootcamp for Real Estate coming up here on April 23rd. We had DAO Day via Token Summit DAO on February 22nd. One of the needs that we still have is to take the videos that we created from that live event, DAO Day on 2/22/22, to do video editing. Because like the way that we did the live event, it was a couple big chunks. We need to use a tool. And the great thing about a tool like Descript is it's designed for cloud collaboration. And this is a tool that showed up on the radar multiple times by multiple people that are in podcasting / live streaming. And like one of the things that we're also wanting to do with our live stream is repurpose that into a podcast. So we're really wanting to multi-purpose our live stream content into, and again, the opportunity, the better that we get at this kind of thing, the easier that it will become. And Descript seems to be the best tool for delivering on that. And right now, I think the way that they do the pricing, and it's kind of looking like whether we need to go to an
did we lose you, Alex?
be cognizant of is that it's on a per editor basis. So you can see here $24 /editor /a month. So like right now, Tyler and myself are both editors. So one way that we could reduce that, instead of Tyler having an account and me having an account, we could have one account be the Yonks team account so that we could both do that. Now, somebody that needs to have an editor account needs to be regularly contributing on delivering value in order to warrant us paying $24. And and that's one of the things. I don't know when we'll need to make a decision on our account. Like I think it's a trial account right now. And that's one of the things in our Notion page. And let me actually just open this because I don't know where I can find it on the hidden one. I can't remember if I created a pretty link here, RET.team /tools. I was wanting to, I did. So here we go. Here's another key moment.
So Jason, I have a question.
Yes.
Have you tried it? Have you transcribed one of your YouTube videos?
We did, and this is right here on our live stream. This is the
And is the link public? Is that
no,
public, or is it?
So we're still going through the process. So right now on the screen, so in order to see what you're seeing, what I had to do was I had to download our recording from Restream and then upload that into Descript, and then went through a little bit of process, removed some filler words. And this is something that again, like actually creating a video or us having a dedicated session as far as using Restream, because this is a tool that we'll likely be utilizing quite a bit. And this is one of the things that I'm not sure from a workflow standpoint what will make the most sense. Obviously, like if we've got a bunch of random contributors, we don't want to pay $24 a month times 15 for people that are only doing one thing, and then they're like, okay. But like for Tyler and I, they're going to be regularly, like having a Yonks team account makes sense. And this is one of the things that I'm not sure what it's going to look like, because like right now we've got multiple hot wallets in place. And like one of the things that I've thought about was potentially, and I don't know what platforms that Descript is that it works on, because this is an app that I downloaded. I'm running this on, like right now, I'm hosting this live stream on a Mac Mini. I've been very pleased with my Mac Mini, by the way. Quick plug, as I've gone deeper and deeper into the Apple ecosystem. But I would imagine that the software Descript is available on. Anyway, I'm not gonna. So we'll be talking more about Descript, but and figuring out how to use this tool, because like right now, on our website ret.team, we've got our community call, and this is the that we just, and this is the first time that did a blog post on blog post from REtoken DAO community call number 27 that we just hosted on Wednesday. And here's the link to that. And like you can see here, there's not very many words. There's these words, there's these words, and then there's a couple embeds. And this is an embed that didn't, and this is probably unnecessary. And again, this is literally the first one that we did. But the goal is to take the written words from here, and then the benefit is SEO. So like right now, one of the things that we're building is blockchain bootcamp for real estate. So let me actually just do a tab here and do a Google search, blockchain bootcamp. And I'm going to put this in quotes. The reason that I'm putting it in quotes, that's kind of a Google hack, because I only want that to show up on the search terms. So right now, there's only 361,000 results for blockchain bootcamp. So the opportunity for us to rank very highly on blockchain bootcamp should be a goal of ours from a content and marketing SEO strategy. So that's kind of the why of why we're looking at Descript, is to create verbiage for that, whether it's like a podcast, and that's one of the things that we've spoken about in the past. That's one of the things that we are going to do in 2022, is to talk, one of the things that we're going to regularly talk about. And I'm still like trying to think about it a little bit. It's not occupying too many thoughts right now, because focused on building and delivering blockchain bootcamp for real estate. But the podcast that we want to create here for season 0 or season 1 or whatever we're going to end up calling it, is how to own real estate for $100 or less, because that's one of the big value propositions that blockchain technology applied to real estate provides. So does that kind of provide a good why on Descript? This is literally like the first time this last couple of days. I mean, we just had our community call on Wednesday, and we just uploaded it and went through it a little bit. I haven't used the tool probably more than an hour or two to get to where we're at, what you saw here right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I missed. I don't want to, digress too much, but I missed. So, how does the transcript end up as SEO optimization?
So, and this is one of the things that we could maybe even just walk through right now, because it seems to be a little bit of interest on that. So, like in this tool, there's a share, and then you can go export. And this is probably, I'm glad that you asked that great question, Blurs, because this is actually one of the things here. So these are tools, and this is like cloud export tools that are supported. So remember when we were talking about, like, remember when I mentioned Wistia as far as like video cloud storage? This may be a reason that we may want to use a tool like Wistia compared to a tool like Pinata, is because of its easy integration from a facilitation, because I'm all about making things as easy as possible. But like file export, so the ability for us to export text, and we can format it in a Word doc, Markdown. I mean, here's the different formats. So to put it in a blog, like probably plain text would probably be the easiest, because then like importing plain text into, so let's go ahead and export.
I do rich
for a blog post, or
Yeah.
I want, let me see. What supports?
I got Markdown too.
I know. I was wondering if
And you have
Markdown-
HTML. I'd play. I mean, it would be pretty fast to just play around with them.
Yeah, so that's the opportunity, Blurs, because like going back in here to our website, like just going in, editing the post, and then like creating a new section down here, and I'll just do this one, paragraph, and we'll call this, and I'll change this to transcription, and then put another, and this, I'll make this a header. Let's see, make this heading. Here, there's the heading. So H2, and then like copy, paste, output from Descript here.
Okay. So, yeah. So by getting the transcript into literally a web page that is indexed, we can help improve our searchability. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think a 2-hour working group transcript from a utility standpoint, it probably isn't really worth it. But if it's purely, go on.
Well, no. So part of it is for searchability. So if people are searching DAO and Notion and DWork and whatever, like, and part of it is just having the transcript being like, man, that DWork thing was a really good thing. Let me just copy that, kind of edit it, turn it into a 250-word blog post, and then throw it on LinkedIn and say, here's the first 2 sentences for our website, click more. That's where time's everything. That's where we really get the juice on it. So we're not rewriting everything from scratch. We're just saying, okay, we had this discussion. It's not perfect, but we just need to kind of clean it up, turn it into a blog post.
Yeah, I mean, just like imagine if we had been using Descript back in November or December, and then how much better that we would have been for our content game here in April. So this is really a tool that we should have had in place a lot sooner. It's just that, it is what it is. We can't hop in the Wayback Machine and change that, but utilizing a tool like this, now that we've got a website, like I love RET.team compared to REtoken.info. And, we're building some WordPress framework here. And the great thing about this is we own RET.team. So anything that we build out from a link, and like looking here at our working group on the YouTube here today. So we've got a link to this blog post, and that's not the only place that we're getting a backlink to. And that's one of the things that we need to get this link working, because like one of the things that Blurs alluded is right now we're getting a 404 on that. So like here's a very easy way that we can fix that. Again, let me update this post here, and going back to best practices, like getting some best practices in with WordPress, like getting some GitHub integration with WordPress, so that we have a version history where we can see. And then like one of the other tools that we may look at doing is SourceCred, because SourceCred provides data off of GitHub, but not off of WordPress. So like that would be the other benefit, but just planting that seed, like that's not something, we'll talk more about that later here in 2022. But like going back to the dashboard, so for now, we don't have the blog post. So I'm going to create a pretty link, and this will be a temporary one to go back to our agenda here for today. So here's a link to our Notion agenda for today's working group. And where we're wanting to create that pretty link is S0WG4. So there's the pretty link. I create that, and now we don't have a broken link because I refreshed this, and now it redirects to our Notion page. So there I just created or resolved, because the goal, you don't want any 404s. 404s are very bad. Google hates 404s. So that's one of the reasons that having a tool like Pretty Link. Now, what we wanted to ultimately do is like when we went to RET.team, like for our community calls, this one here, it redirected to an internal post instead of an external post. We'll be talking more about that here. So like on the Yoast is a tool that we've got here. So scrolling down, I'm not logged in. We've got more agenda. We'll be talking more, and we'll set up like a session on Descript, and that's maybe something. Do we want to just plan on doing that now, or was that what you were saying, Blurs? Was the need and the opportunity is to create like a just a hour working group on Descript?
I clicked on the camera, not the mic. I was not suggesting that. I was just asking for clarification. I don't know if we need a working group on the Descript. I mean, if we just want to experiment with like what you're doing here, yeah, we could probably do that. Maybe it probably could even just be 30 minutes, if that.
Okay. And if anybody's interested in this aspect, and that's one of the things that we'll be doing too, is creating bounties. Like one of the, and I think I got the coordinate connected. Let me refresh this. Okay. Coordinate connected. Awesome. So I'm going to get a screenshot of this. This was a distraction here, and I'm going to close this tab out. But yeah, we'll be creating more bounties for that. That's one of the things that will be. Again, while we're working on this, I think that we've done a fair job of using consistent tokenomics for REtoken DAO here. And that's one of the things with how much history that we have here. We're in season 0. And just to put this forward, we won't be in season 1 until we do our regulation crowdfunding. Right now, we're operating REtoken, the real estate DAO, under a social token. And we are planning to do a social token offering via regulation crowdfunding in Q3 of 2022 is what we've got on our roadmap. And that's one of the things that I actually didn't put on our agenda. And now that I'm talking about the roadmap, and I'm going to put this as a key moment here real quick on our live stream, is to talk about our roadmap, discussing roadmap. And here is a legacy roadmap, and I'll put this in the link here. REtoken, Trello. Trello is what we've used prior to migrating to DWork. And this is still a work in progress as far as cleaning this up, but it's cleaning stuff up right now is a little lower priority than delivering Blockchain Bootcamp for Real Estate on April 23rd. And here's the roadmap for season 0 of REtoken, the Real Estate DAO, our legacy roadmap on Trello. And let's create another pretty link real quick. What do you think for roadmap on RET.team for roadmap? And let's see, dashboard. We're going to call it roadmap. And I don't know if this is where it will end up, but and I'll bring this window here real quick. My computer. So let me get the link here. I don't know if this is even shared. It is. So let me throw in the Notion link, copy. There's the Notion link here, create, and our new pretty link, our new roadmap pretty link. So there's our roadmap pretty link, and this is a out of the box template for a roadmap in Notion. So the question is, before I start going and kind of just making this a Yonks-ized version within our ecosystem, how does everybody like these out of the box timeframes that people are talking about? Epics, sprints, tasks, and bugs. Do we want to use this in our roadmap, or do we want to just kind of create our own stuff?
That's pretty standard. Yeah, I think that's fine. And if it doesn't work, we can change it.
Okay. And the better that we get as far as because bugs, and I can see the value. The reason that I wanted to ask is I can see the value of keeping it consistent, because this is language that a lot of people speak. It's not necessarily language that I've used in any of my previous work history, but it's something that I think that we can definitely build and accommodate so that it makes it easier for people that are. And do you know, Blurs, what that work frame is called that they use this very commonly?
I don't.
Doesn't matter. So I'll work on and I'll work on bringing some of the stuff over here. And this is again an opportunity that we have for improving, like using some stuff to bring everything within the Triple Win Foundation, because one of the things that I've really been enjoying is using some relations. And what I mean by that, let me actually go to our agenda here real quick. So these are some of the relations that have been using. So right now, we've talked a little bit about integrating REtoken into, and this is a post or in our database. And I don't know, let me actually create a new relation here real quick, because we're talking about pretty link in here. So we've talked about dwork quite a bit. We talked about coordinate. So I'm just adding that relation here real quick. So dwork. And let me actually bring this onto screen here so that everybody can see it. So this is you only get within Notion, you only get this functionality if it's an item within a database. Now, to rewind, on the screen here, all of these different properties and stuff like the participants here, let me just fill this out real quick. So on the working group today, Blurs Day and Amy. So these are the 4 people that are participating on our Zoom here today. So this is our agenda and meeting notes, and this is a database within Notion for that we are using for tracking all of our agenda and meeting notes. And going here to our homepage, this is the Triple Win Foundation space. And this right here is a database. And clicking on REtoken, the real estate DAO, this is a page, or it's a page within the database and got various relations here. So dwork, and this is different tools that we're utilizing here at REtoken, the real estate DAO. And this is different agendas that we're speaking about. So we'll be talking more about Notion, and probably do a training session dedicated to Notion. I've really been enjoying creating some of those relations and figuring out how to best use that. And I participated in a hop-in event earlier too on Notion. But what I was talking about right here, so related to tools, we've talked about DWork quite a bit. We've talked about Coordinate quite a bit. We've talked about gm.xyz. And the thing that's awesome about this, like if we click on gm.xyz and click on it here, then we can see, okay, well, here's some of our meetings that we spoke about that. And, you know, so again, this is just barely starting to use Notion and figuring out the integrations and how to best utilize that within our framework. Is there any other tools that we focused on besides these three today? I'm seeing a nod no from Blur. So that's
unless you count the script tool.
Oh yeah. Let's put that on there. Descript. We did. That was definitely. And let me actually go there to Descript real quick, because this is a newer page, and you can see here this is something that we've spoke about. We spoke about it on the community call, or actually utilized it for the community call. And that's the main reference there as far as the our foray into using that. And like, this is something, just providing some history just to make it where you can kind of see why this tool, and this is something that created. We need to make better use of our content from an SEO standpoint, and we provided some better understanding on that, and it'll become a lot more clear when we are deploying this and stuff like that. And as we again make our content, but then like we're creating a lot of content. I'm starting to ramble here, so I'm going to bring this off screen and go back to the agenda over here. So coordinate, descript, FAQ. Okay, this is actually, and I'm actually going to put in here Notion, because we've talked about Notion quite a bit here within today too. So this is something here that I created a new page, and I actually want to bring this up here real quick. Docs. And I'm going to create a key moment here on our live stream. Key moment. Speaking about the new FAQ database in Notion. And I don't know if this exists, ret.team/FAQ. If it doesn't exist yet, it will here pretty soon. Let me see. Nope, 404. We'll fix that here soon. So going over here to, let me close out some of this stuff. Getting tab sprawl. Close this out. So FAQ. So I'm going to actually bring the my Notion application, and this is the, oh, where did it go? Here it is. Okay, so this is a page here in Notion, and let me actually create that pretty link so I can fix that one link that I was just talking about there real quick. So going back to our WordPress dashboard, and I'll add that tool. We've talked quite a bit about WordPress today too. So here's the Notion link for that, and this is FAQ create. So now we should have a working link here, which we do. So now ret.team/FAQ exists, and it's a redirect here to a new database that made within Notion. And let me actually go back to the Notion application. And this Notion page will organize all of the frequently asked questions within 3Win DAO ecosystem. This will become an important component within our content marketing strategy. And real quick, my alarm is going off here for our airdrop. So let me finish up one last thing, because the other opportunity that we've got is we have our existing docs.ret.team. And here's, I'm going to put another key moment in here. And this is key moment bounty opportunity here, Tyler, is how that we can structure this. And I'm apparently misspelling opportunity. Anyway, create some tasks to migrate any FAQs from our Gitbook to WordPress. And our Gitbook is at docs.ret.team. And this is, again, just to get the content on the same page as far as consolidating the information. So we've created a good amount of content on our Gitbook here on our FAQs. So here's the FAQs. And this is, again, something that we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We can create some easy pieces of content. Go ahead, Tyler.
Oh, I was going to say, a lot of this stuff is fine. Some of it is out of date. And something that I put in the parking lot for a future working group is just to go through this thing page by page and just do an update on that. So just if you guys have some time to start looking through it, making notes, I would like to just do a full overhaul on that another later time. Jason, you're on mute.
Thank you. I don't know if we have the capability, like if and when we do get the things moved over, that we might want to redirect it onto WordPress. And like this link that we made here, this one, like we might want this to be a post permalink or slug. This is basically the FAQ is the URL slug for the ret.team domain. And that's something, that's the nice thing about pretty links, is that we can start utilizing them, and then we can change what that does on the back end. The back end in this case is WordPress. So we'll be talking more about WordPress. We're going to use WordPress for some other sites within our ecosystem. But do you have the participation all done for our airdrop here, Tyler?
Yeah, it's done. It's done.
Awesome. So this is when we're at the time, and this is one of the things that we're doing as a new process, and we will continue to try that out here the next week and see how we like that. But we do the accounting in a spreadsheet, and part of the reason that we do that is that we are planning again to migrate our social tokens, REtoken, over to a social or a security token. And I've got the spreadsheet here, and I'll bring this on the live stream. So this is the this is again our spreadsheet that we've done. And thank you, Tyler, for doing that. I hear somebody. Go ahead, Amy.
Yeah, is the spreadsheet still on Trello or somewhere else?
It's in Drive. You should have access to it through Google Drive.
Yeah,
should be in
I think I
with you.
did on my laptop, but I looked. If you can post the link, then I can put it on the new laptop.
Yeah, I'll get it to you. No problem.
So this is working group number 5, and I'll put in here a 3-win DAO working group number 5 for week 14. And for today, we have 3 ways that we're providing the rewards. We RSVP, YouTube comments, and then the Zoom participation. So 5 for.
You wanted these, you didn't want POAP and any of that stuff on here, right?
No, because we've moved that functionality into the DWork task. So this is just the straight up participation. Because the thing that's about that is, and this is again, like we would like to see the multi-SIN functionality within, so that we could potentially do participation within a DWork task, but they don't currently have multi-SIN functionality. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to just drop this in a new text edit file, because I have to do, because this is when you copy and paste out of Google Sheets or a spreadsheet like Excel, it creates a comma or a tab, and we need a comma separated. So I have to do a find and replace on the tab and replace it with a comma. And then I can go to our hot wallet on the REtoken DAO.eth profile. And again, like one of the opportunities that we may have is to create a server, like whether it's a Mac server or a Windows or a Linux, so that we could potentially remote in to do, because, and again, this isn't something that we need. I'm just kind of planting that seed, but let's get this airdrop done here real quick. So we use Coinvice. Coinvice.co is the social token platform that we have minted our tokens on. The reason that we love Coinvice is that it didn't cost us anything to mint there, and they have some other great functionality like doing an airdrop. And that's something right now I'm just getting the MetaMask password for this hot wallet so that we can fulfill that, because right now we're currently doing the process with the MetaMask hot wallet. And you can see here they've updated the dashboard. So I'm going to put a key stamp on here, key moment, doing airdrop, and we're doing a REtoken DAO, because today for this working group, we're only rewarding REtoken, doing REtoken DAO, airdrop via Coinvice. And here's, oh, need to change the password. So that was the password for, and that's one of the challenges sometimes of doing a live stream. But the great thing about a hot wallet and a password like that is that you can easily change it. So note to self, if you could add that as a next action there, Blurs, change the REtoken DAO MetaMask hot wallet password. So we're dropping the airdrop here via Coinvice, and that was the link that I was hoping that I had on my my clipboard that I did not. So going in, because at the end of the day, the password doesn't do anything without having the seed phrase. So airdrops, we're doing an airdrop, and the other reason that love doing an airdrop via this, and let me actually open that in another tab real quick, is the link to REtoken DAO. And if you haven't created a profile and you want to like hunt for bounties, this is an opportunity, and this is an opportunity for us to explore, because one of the bounties that Tyler was wanting to deploy is using our Matic from the Polygon Ecosystem DAO grant to get a better WordPress theme that's customized for REtoken DAO and Token Town. So anyway, airdrop, let's get on with the airdrop here. These are all the airdrops that we've done in the past. So we've used consistently Coinvice for doing our airdrops, and we're going to do this airdrop by wallet addresses, which we had on the clipboard right here. So I just paste that into the wallet address list. And for the airdrop title, we're just going to use the working group title right here. So, and going back to the window, and we select the token, and it's REtoken. And currently in the REtoken hot wallet, we've got a little under 5 million. The other half of the supply is in the Gnosis safe. And there is some workflow that is new here that haven't explored. So there might be the opportunity to move all of our REtoken off of the hot wallet over to Gnosis safe. But again, put that on the shelf. We'll talk about that next month after we get our blockchain bootcamp delivered. So this is a two-step process. Let me click next. And it's and this is one of the things that you can see. They've increased the workflow here where it makes it very clear that it's a two-step process. So the first step is approving the REtoken, and this will bring up a little box here. And on Matic, I always make it high because it's very low, and I want my transactions to go above everybody else's because we're doing a live stream. It doesn't cost a lot. Like, true story here, like when we launched REtoken, we put 2 Matic on the account, and we have 1.378 Matic. And Matic is currently like number go up, number go down. It's less than $2 a piece. So like we've spent less than $2 in transaction fees here, all in all so far. So now the second step, create the airdrop, and again, bump up the transaction to high, just because I don't have time on our live stream. So this will give the transaction list, and if you could, Tyler, like you did, to bring your secretarial stuff full circle there, and I'll get you the link to that task here. Oh, I forgot to sign it, so let me do that because I didn't do it quick enough. So let me do that again. So I had to go through the process because I delayed.
You asked me to drag in where? What am I doing here?
Remember how you pasted in the multi-sig transaction in the task for your secretarial stuff? This one here. Here is the Polygon scan.com multi-sig TX record for our REtoken DAO REtoken airdrop. So, and that should be, let's do a refresh. So there is our airdrop. So it took about 10 minutes. That's what we had allocated. And I spent extra time talking through that here today because it's not very often. This is literally like the second or third time that I've done this during a working group. Normally in the past was doing a separate live stream for doing the airdrops, and it caused a backlog. And that's one of the things that we have committed to get better at, is getting the REtoken delivered to you all more timely. Like literally here, everybody that participated. Oh, and we have it incorrect here, Tyler. This is actually using the REtoken from our one thing. So we actually need to make this, and I'm going to put it in a second list here.
Oh yeah, that's why I shouldn't copy and paste these things. It's a 2-hour group.
Yeah,
you gotta copy and paste the names too.
Anyway, let me just do.
Just copy and paste the names on the side. Copy and paste the names on the side. Add Amy, whatever, it'll populate them.
Well, oops. I was just changing my replace to. There we go. Oh, no, we needed 25. So this is airdrop multi-sig 1 of 2. So now we're doing a 2 of 2. So let's go back because what the slip up is that we
sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah, so we that was for doing the community call, and I think that was some copy and paste there. So I'll do another airdrop real quick. So let's see, create airdrop, wallet addresses, REtoken, and let's see, number 5. And this is, I'll put a -2. Next, approve. See, it's a little faster when I'm not spending as much time walking through the conversation on everything, right? So going back while that's going through, let's look at the agenda here. So this is where we also, in the last few minutes of our agenda, and this is stuff that we had here, and this is something, Tyler, we can work on cleaning up. And thank you again for preparing the agenda here for today. But during the last 10 minutes, we normally like to allocate the decisions and next actions have been captured here today. I think we did a pretty good job getting through all of the agenda that we actually moved up here today. And this is something that we'll work on cleaning up. Let's make sure that we carry this over to tomorrow's working group, because this is actually more relevant to tomorrow's working group. Let me bring that in our calendar. Our working group is for Blockchain Bootcamp for Real Estate tomorrow at 7 p.m. On Wednesday, we have our community call at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Office hours, this is something that we kind of dropped the ball last week on. Let me delete this because we didn't actually have that one. Office hours is something that is new that we're doing on Discord. It's geared to be more casual. If you've got some questions, it's not something that's not being recorded. And hopefully there won't be a reason that we need to start recording that, but we're wanting it to be casual and open. One of the things that we were talking about here, Tyler, and let's actually put that on the calendar, is a Web3 and DAO onboarding with Yonk's team. And I'm not sure how that we're going to want to deliver that, but this is a working group or a session that we were wanting to have that's more casual, that's going to be a recurring on a weekly basis for basically onboarding people into the DAO. And this will obviously evolve over time as far as what that looks like to be more structured. But one of the things that we spoke about last week, and this is something that I forgot, and just thinking through as far as next actions and decisions, one of the things that we've put forward is expanding what we're building here into Tennessee, Texas, and Florida. And the reason that that's relevant is that we have two people that affects that are on our Zoom here today. Blursday's in Texas and Amy is in Tennessee. And where I was going with that is let's actually take a look at the, this is our meetup group. This is one of 3 meetup groups that Tyler and I have launched. And I believe I'd have to look at my screenshots. I'm actually going to do a screenshot of this one here. But right now, my thoughts are based upon what I've seen is that this is the meetup group that we should launch. Just copy and paste. This is keyword dense, Web3, DAOs, NFTs, and the metaverse. And just change out the Colorado with Texas and do something similar. Copy and paste for Texas, Tennessee, and Florida. There is a cost associated with this. It's $180, but right now with the growth that we've seen, and when was it that we launched this meetup group here, Tyler?
I think it was in March. So that's another high priority is to get meetups on. Oops, sorry, baby's crashing around. I would like to get meetups and sessions and everything on the calendar 2 weeks in advance. So that's another thing that we need to get some automation. And I'm not sure how Zapier or what was that one that you like, Blurs, make? Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one. I need to learn about it, but I'm not sure how Zapier is going to work with meetup events, but it does let you copy the event. And so we just change out the Zoom link. So we just need to get better at scheduling that stuff in advance.
Is that 180 per state?
So it's $30 a month per meetup group. And now keep in mind, like testing things out here in Colorado, we currently have 3 meetup groups. And this is something that I'm wanting to assess. And this is something that I will actually create a bounty for assessing, is to see if the group composition looks substantially different between meetup group number 1, like this one that I'm talking about here.
So basically we've got $540 a half for these 3 groups. If we sell 3 blockchain bootcamp tickets during that 6 months out of any of those 3 groups, then we're break even. Anything after that is profit. So it's just a question of, do we want to do that? And now that we're starting to get more engagement from the groups, and we're starting to launch the investment club, it's just really just a question of, unfortunately, we don't have the option to just try something for a month and see how it goes. It's got to be for 6 months at a time, but still only $180, so it's not terrible.
Like I asked, can we do a Tennessee and then me, Rosetta, and that guy in Chattanooga, I forgot his name, can share the meetup group scheduling, or is it per area?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that, you know, is one of the reasons that we're launching it on a per state. There's some other reasons too, is like one of the goal is to obviously tokenize real estate, build solutions for, or develop solutions for equitable, affordable housing, which will involve acquiring real estate through some SPV, special purpose vehicle, which will be a business that is registered within that state. So there's legal reasons, because entities are formed on a state-by-state basis. Triple Win Foundation, the parent nonprofit corporation, which we will be seeking 501c3 status here later in 2022. And that's one of the things. Now, fast forward, Amy, a year from now or 3 years from now, when these meetup groups have hundreds of people, and I can assure you it'll only be time, because I mean, just based on what we've seen here, like Tyler said, we've already got 88 members and we're just barely getting started with this. Like one of the other groups that I regularly participate in is Cryptorado. And this is one of the things that Tyler actually created a past event here, because every other Tuesday. So let's see, this was.
There's a future one coming too. I just do upcoming. There's a future one. Okay, well, and where I was going with this, Tyler created a crypto and blockchain happy hour where I basically, and I don't know if anybody RSVP'd for that or not, but it's a way, to just combine some stuff. And not going to go into details on that, but that I wanted to bring that up because, and going to work on providing some more data to substantiate the reason as far as why that I think that this should be the first three. And let me actually get the other one here too. Let's see, the one that we've had the longest is our REtoken Colorado meetup group. Yeah, we really just need to do some live events. So on the Web3 and all the other ones, we're getting a lot of people that are outside of the local area that are just interested. So I don't think, so I'm making 2 changes in all these groups. One is any web event that gets an airdrop, I'm publishing that. Second thing is, now that we're moved and settled and everything, sorry, the baby's trying to rip my face off. I just need to get a couple happy hours a month scheduled so we can just start meeting people and build it up. There's another local guy here that just launched a crypto investing group in a library, and he just set up his webcam to point at Zoom, and it was a little janky, but he basically said, if you're here, you're here. If you're not, then just do your best and whatever. And it worked out fine. So anyway, we're already 3 minutes over our time. That was one of the things that we spoke about last week, and I'm going to put some efforts between now and our working group tomorrow, because that definitely is a component of, because the reasons that we're, again, substantiating the, because a good way to look at these meetup groups is it's basically a funnel into our ecosystem. And like Sumit, I'm pretty sure that Sumit, who we just nominated at the front side of this live stream, this working group, I'm pretty sure that he found us through this meetup group, the one that I linked up here earlier. Oh, and let me share this one real quick in the live stream. So I'm pretty sure that Sumit found us through this meetup group that we were talking about here. And now he's actively participating, and we've nominated him for Community Member of the Week. So this is an organic way. I say organic a little bit. It is costing us $30 a month per meetup group. So it's not necessarily that organic, but the benefit of this, and you can see this part of 3-Win DAO, 2 groups. So the big value proposition is that we can create events on a global basis. I was looking at the WordPress meetup, and let me see if it's just, I think it's probably just WordPress. So here's the WordPress meetup group. We've talked about WordPress on our meetup or on our working group here tonight. WordPress has 760 groups that host 484,000 members globally. So this is just one other aspect of community building. But anyway, the reason why Meetup, it'll become a lot more clear as things unfold in 2022, I believe. But anyway, was there anything else that we needed to capture on our working group as far as decisions and next actions? No, we're already over time. I'm just gonna start moving stuff to tomorrow, and Brooke is, I lost the last 15 minutes. Brooke found a pop can and she keeps slamming it on the floor. So I'm trying to listen and have that. So I think I'm good.
Awesome. Well, we went through a lot of stuff, covered a lot of ground, as we do in all of our working groups, but I love hanging out with you. One of the things that did resonate with me, and this is something that we held it yesterday, was the first book of The Art of Impossible, and we held this via a Twitter space. I'm going to leave this as a final thought for everybody here. And the reason that I was bringing that up is, for a lot of people, here it is, a Sunday afternoon, and we've just spent 2 hours hanging out on a Zoom. And the difference here for us, for me anyway, and I'm not going to speak for other people, is that we're choosing to be here. There's a lot of people that spend a lot of time throughout their week on Zoom meetings, but they don't have the choice. And flow, and to bring that thought full circle, was one of the concepts that have been regularly talked about. And flow, the big takeaway on flow is when work becomes play. And I absolutely love hanging out with you all. One of the things that I've said and will continue to say is that really starting to find my people here in DAOs. And that's one of the reasons that have decided to go all in on DAOs, made that decision. And the more that I learn and build here with you together, love what we're creating, love spending time with you. And the final thought on that is, hanging out with you on this Zoom here today is fun. Flow is happening, and looking forward to building all the things in 2022. Happy Sunday, everybody.
See ya.
Have a good rest of the afternoon. Bye.